Hello, welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the day. I'm your host, Ilham Ahmedov. High-level general discussions held within the framework of the 76th session of the UN General Assembly, which began since September 14th, continue. Because of the pandemic this year, the segment of general discussions take place in hybrid form, that is both in physical and virtual form. The topic of this year's discussion is building resilience through hope to recover from COVID-19, rebuild sustainably, respond to the needs of the planet, respect the rights of people, and revitalize the United Nations. Heads of state and government used this reputable podium of the General Assembly to share their views with the international community, both on national and international issues and state policies. As part of general discussions, President of Azərbaycan Ilham will address the General Assembly with the video appeal. This year, the general discussions of the UN General Assembly are of special importance for our country. Thus, after the glorious victory of Azerbaijan in the patriotic war, President Ilham will address the international community as the victorious commander-in-chief and will represent victorious Azerbaijani people. Though the opening of communications is an important progress and advancement, Armenia is still opting for obstruction and delaying tactics and tries to block the progress. This view was voiced by Minister of Foreign Affairs Ceyhun Bayramov while speaking at the 37th session of the Guam Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs. He noted that the international community should exert pressure on Armenia so that it refrains from its revanchist sentiments. There is no alternative to full implementation of trilateral statements, elimination of all the consequences of the war, and building a prosperous future for all the countries of the region and their people. The application of international law is a condition for peace, security, and development, said Ceyhun Bayramov. A group of Georgian journalists, bloggers, and academicians who arrived in Azerbaijan visited the liberated city of Shusha. The guests were informed about the atrocities committed by the enemy in Shusha, the destruction of historical and religious monuments. They got acquainted with the construction works carried out in the cultural capital of Azerbaijan.
A group of Georgian media representatives, bloggers, and academicians visiting Shusha took a walk in the city. The guests who visited the statues of geniuses Uzeyr Hacıbəyli, Xurşid Banu Natavan, and Bülbül in the central square of Shusha were informed about their life and achievements. This is my first visit to Azerbaijan. Shusha is the pearl of the Caucasus. I admire the work done in the city. The construction work is going on non-stop. The atmosphere here is also different. I've seen ruins in many parts of the city. It should not be like this. The culture should not be destroyed, said blogger Tamuna Mubladze. The Georgian guests got acquainted with the Shusha fortress. Then the bakery, Xurşid Banu Natavan's house museum, Aşağı and Yuxarı Gövxarağa mosques were visited. The guests were informed about the construction work carried out here. We've been here for 2 days. The scale of destruction is huge. Azerbaijan is a strong state. I hope that everything here will be restored in the near future, said blogger Zurab Batiashvili. I saw many destroyed houses, cultural centers, and buildings here. All this reflects the horrors of war. Fortunately, a lot has been restored and this work continues. In my report, I will talk about the restoration of Shusha journalist Niga Kushkadze. The guests also visited newly renovated house museum of Bülbül. The Georgian guest filmed the Jedurduza plane, then a piece of Georgian national music was performed here. It should be noted that the guests also visited Jabrail and Fizali regions and witnessed Armenian vandalism.
The working group on energy supply of the Interdepartment Center under the coordination headquarters established with the aim of centralized resolution of issues in the territories of Azerbaijan liberated from the occupation held a regular meeting in the format of a video conference. The members of the working group heard the information provided on the construction of transmission and distribution power lines, the construction of appropriate substations, the design of a gas transportation system in certain areas, heat supply, and etc. The issues of power supply and healing of strategic facilities in the city of Shusha were discussed. The work carried out on the construction of the electric power infrastructure was brought to the attention. The continuation of the construction of electrical substations was emphasized. It was noted that the supply of electricity is of particular importance in infrastructure infrastructure projects, given that most of the boiler houses that form the backbone of the heating system will be powered by electricity. It was reported that on September 19th of this year, work in the supply of electricity and heating to strategic facilities in Shusha was inspected on the spot. A presentation was made on the results of monitoring. Information was provided on the work done in connection with heating systems in residential areas and buildings. The work done and ongoing work on the construction of hydropower plants Khudaferin and Gizgalası in Jabrail region, which will allow Azerbaijan and Iran to jointly use the water and energy resources of Araz River, will discuss issues of operation of the stations in the future, were reviewed. The Festival of Technologies of Civil, Military, Aviation and Space Technologies, Teknofest 2021, which started on September 21st, continues in Istanbul. Hasan Khidmat will cooperate with the Turkish technology giant Baykar Makina. An agreement on this was reached on the sidelines of the festival. A large-scale international event is covered by about 400 media outlets. Within the framework of the prestigious international event, Chairman of the State Agency for Public Service and Social Innovations under the President Rövşən Məmmədov and the head of Baykar Makina, Chairman of the Board of the Turkish Technology Team Foundation, Haluk Bayraktar, signed 2 cooperation documents. One of them is a protocol on cooperation in the creation of the Bilim Baki Center in the field of innovation and technology. The second document is a memorandum on partnership between the public and private sectors between Hasan Khidmat and the Baykar Makina. Teknofest has laid the foundation for successful cooperation between the Technology Center of Turkey and Hasan Khidmat. There are 2 agreements between Hasan Khidmat and the main founder of this foundation, the Baykar Company. What is the essence? For several years now, a center has been operating in Istanbul, where trainings are held for young people to independently develop software for drones and other highly specialized programs. And at Hasan Khidmat, together with the Turkish side, we will create a similar center where Azerbaijani youth will be involved in trainings to familiarize themselves with modern innovation and technologies. The second document was signed between the Baykar Company and Hasan Khidmat, said Rövşən Məmmədov, chair of the State Agency for Public Service and Social Innovations. Teknofest has been held in Turkey for the 4th time. More than 100 countries are represented here this year. In addition to competitions, there are also demonstration flights, acquaintance with technology stands. In a word, Teknofest is a big technological family. In 2019, the festival was attended by 1,720,000 people. This year, there are also many people interested in the exhibition. Our fraternal country, Azerbaijan, has expressed a desire to organize such an event. We expect to hold it in Azerbaijan in 2022, stated Seljuk Bayraktar, technical director of Baykar Makina. That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.